So it is a mighty Accra folk taking on Kumasi Asante Kotoko. I mean, those days when we used to be kids, you know, it's crazy on the street. You hear trumpets, you hear whistles, you hear emotions at plenty everywhere. The restaurants are full, churches close quite early. It's on Sunday. You see families seated together, at least to have a glimpse of the biggest game domestically. Let us know what you think. Have been missing in the last over the years regarding the Super Clash. What do you think went wrong along the line? Those days when you hear Charles Taylor, Dada Dombote. At least those are the players we came to me back in the 2000, the 1994, the 1995. I'm talking as if I'm 45 years old, but Charlie, it used to be a game. Charlie, guys, I'm opening the microphone for you guys. I want you guys to help us jump to the song. Okay, so Phil is singing. Arroz, arroz, arroz. Be quiet and don't be silly. We are the famous House of Folk. We never say that. Arroz, arroz, arroz. Be quiet and don't be silly. We are the famous House of Folk. We never say that. And I tell you, Charlie, if you are not a House of Folk supporter, you would not feel, you would not see, you would not understand the meaning of this song and what it feels to be a Heart of Folk supporter. And now I feel is somewhere. Charlie, hold on, but if you're a Kotoko fan, then this should be it for you.
Asante Kotoko say. Asante Kotoko say, Asante Kotoko, Asante Kotoko,
Hey, so that is Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But Charlie, it be like some the vibe no. I'm not sure that they feel the vibe. Oh, I like this one. Yebesha mamo.
Oh, yebesha mamo. Asante Kotoko. Yebesha Asante Kotoko. Yebesha mamo.
Charlie. Now, let's go over to the phone lines and then pick the thought of Hearts of Folk NCC Deputy PRO. That is actually That is Ni Asai Ankra, who have been very, very, very supportive, and he's been all over the place this week as far as this fixture is concerned. Ni, can you hear us? Hello, Ni Ankra. Ni? We are trying to make contact with Ni Asai Ankra, who is Accra Suffolk NCC chapter PRO, deputy PRO, and then when we get him, we'll try to talk briefly about the Super Class before I get over to the studios here. But as we are trying to establish contact with him, let me come to the studio. Phil is here, and then same for Manuel Donko. Charlie, Phil, I mean, I saw your spirit. You were vibrating.
You don't know what that song does to me, and
no, unless you tell us what the song does to you.
Where I grew up at Matayeko, close to Dansoman, Abosokai, Kandeshi area. And during that time, when Hearts is playing Kotoko, when Hearts of Folk is playing Kotoko, at that time, there were not phones. There was only one station, one TV station, and that was GTV. And if normally GTV comes out, the match will be aired. Sometimes they don't air.
No, Phil, hold on for me. Let me get over to the phone line. Ni Asai Ankra is on standby. Hello, Ni, can you hear me? Ni? We are trying to speak to Ni Asai Ankra, who is House of Folk. So, Phil, continue.
Yeah. And at that time, it was only GTV and then GAR.
Okay.
Or radio that does commentary. So everybody is glued to either the TV set or the radio just to listen to what is going on, or you go to the stadium. That time, it was right now, you see, and I have a little concern because the rivalry between Hearts and Kotoko has become something. First, they hardly meet. Right now, you see the President's Cup, you see Hearts Kotoko playing. You see this cup, that cup, and they invite the two to play. So there's no, you see, the kind of, when you even go online to watch the highlights of those times, the matches that they play, I tell you, this morning, I just decided to watch one clip to see. And you see, in Accra Hearts of Folk Champions League, you see Sami Ajay in post, and they had players like Dankwe on the right side. Dankwe had the captain of the team, Amankwa Mreku, as well, playing as a right back. You have Jacob Neti on the left. You have centre backs like Emmanuel Ajima. You have players like Cobson, Joe Ansa, Emmanuel.
This is Donko?
No, not Donko.
Did I say Donko?
Ishmelado and Emmanuel. I've forgotten the name.
Why he tries to remember?
Yes.
let me.
Before you come in, you guys are here.
That quality was there.
Yeah.
During the Champions League, I said the Hearts team, they did everything. Previously, before that era that they won the Champions League, they had gone all the way back to the final. They only were lost. They lost out in going to the final just by a goal. They went to Petro Atletico to beat them 1-0. They needed to beat them 2-0. So in the 2000 Champions League, I knew when they had to play the playoffs, they went to Liberia to play Jean-Jacques. They played a 2-2 draw just to qualify the team. That time, then Ishmelado and that Emmanuel, I've forgotten the Emmanuel. It was the best.
It just felt that we were young boys then. But Phil, I think Ni Asai Ankra have joined us again.
Okay.
Ni, can you hear me? Hello, Ni. Ni Asai Ankra, we are really Ni. Hello, Ni Asai. Okay, so I think maybe we would have to. We almost hard pressed with time. We'd have to make proper time for near Sankra, maybe after the game, and then we'll do a proper post review of that match. But let me allow Phil to, because he's giving us some historical.
Prior to the qualification for the Champions League, Hearts had to play Jean d'Arc, and they had this bulky player that was striking for the team, but I think he was with the third team. He had the chance to be with the team, to travel and play. He scored 2 goals in Liberia. That qualified the team to the Champions League. In the very first game, Ishmaelado and certain players couldn't play that game. It was a flyer of a cross by Amankwa Mreku across the goal area, where they had to notch the ball in for the first game. It was Hearts against this Egyptian side that Hearts won by a lone goal here, and it was brilliant. You could tell the quality. Emmanuel Osei Kufuor. That partnership between Emmanuel Osei Kufuor and Ishmaelado was something else. And Charles Taylor, these 3 players. It was fantastic.
Was it the same Charles Taylor that
exactly
went to the stadium the stadium the last time, and then they asked him to pack his car?
The same Charles Taylor. And you could let me even go back to 2005, where they played in the Confederations Cup, the maiden edition of the Confederations Cup. They were in in different groups, where in the end, Kotoko had to. They had the same points with Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars had a lot of goals.
Nigeria's
so they
Lobby
were
Star,
first
you mean?
on the table, but in the end, I think it was head-to-head that qualified Kotoko to the final. In the first leg against Hearts at Accra Sports Stadium, then coach, the late coach, may his soul rest in peace, Jones Atukwefio, had converted Luis Ajiman from a defender to a striker. And that game, when it was the first leg, Kotoko came to Accra. Just like people know, Kotoko plays very well in Accra. But it was the same Accra Sports Stadium that Accra Hearts of Oak beat them by 3-0 and 4-0. But on that occasion, Kotoko scored first, and Luis Ajiman again equalized for the Hearts team. And they had to go away to Kumasi. And that time, then Kotoko had signed Charles Taylor. So Kotoko, and the league was competitive.
Absolutely.
And you could tell when Kotoko was playing, you could see even the Accra Kotoko fans that were in Accra had to travel to Kumasi to watch their games. The Hearts fans that were in Kumasi or all over the country would have to travel to come and watch because of the quality of game that was produced at the time. It wasn't. It was the Hearts game was skill in midfield, and then back to defense and long ball to the wings. At that time, then Dombote had not even showed up. That was the 2000s. But during the 2004, that was when Dombote had his chance to score a lot of goals for Hearts of Oak, free kicks and all that. So when you are playing against Hearts and Dombote was in the game, you don't need to give him free kicks around the 18. I'm still talking about the 2005 finals, where Hearts traveled to Kumasi, and Charles Taylor had to give them the opener. It was 1-0 at halftime. Second half, when the game was, it was ding dong, and you could tell the quality of play. The whole Africa was watching Ghana because it was Hearts and Kotoko. Forget about the Champions League. The Confederations Cup was something else.
Absolutely.
That match was electrifying. And Hearts got a corner. I forgot who took the corner, but Ajatete had to chest the ball and played it in. It ended up as a draw, and they had to play penalties. That was what decided the game.
That was what decided the game.
And
If I allow Phil,
I am telling you, I said, you don't know what the song has done to me right now.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow by 8 a.m., I would be at the stadium by 8 a.m. And we've lost a lot of the passion for this game. And we as the fans, we would have to do more to bring it back, because a lot has been lost, but the quality is rising, and we all have to do well to be part of it, to make sure that this comes back. But that cup matches that they invite has Kotoko. That's what has.
You think it should be a thing of the past?
It should be a thing of the past.
All right.
So that when they meet, the people will know that this is the El Clasico for Ghana.
All right. I think Phil is hyper. Let me bring in Manuel Donko, just 1 minute, because we are almost eating to the time of the next show.
I won't do 1 minute though. Phil has done 20 minutes. But look, the Super Clash. I agree. Growing up, it was that big. It was big like the El Clasico. But now it's no longer. And I think the reason why we see a lot of the Hearts Kotoko games in the President's Cup and all these other competitions, because the truth is they are probably the only two teams that can draw crowds to the stadium. That's why they keep fixing. They keep playing.
If we want our league to grow, these two teams they shouldn't know themselves that much when they face off in a league match.
Anyways, you've done. Thank you very much. But let me deal with this Sunday Super Clash briefly. So Kotoko has lost Albert Amwa to the Libyan club, right?
Al Ali Benghazi.
Yeah, Al Ali Benghazi, and so they don't have that man. But a certain Herbert Jehu has stepped up. He's got 2 goals and 1 assist for them in the league so far. Asante Kotoko, they've played 3 less games than Hearts because of their CAF Confederations Cup, games that they played. But they are not far off from Hearts. Both teams are unbeaten coming into this game. I think that's the biggest selling point, the top story for this clash, and what set this clash up to be a very, very intriguing one is that these two heavyweights are coming into this game without tasting defeat in their Ghana Premier League matches that they've played so far. After Kotoko lost Herbert Amwa, people thought they were going to struggle. But in their last game against Karela, we all saw Herbert Jehu. That stunner, his shot from distance. They beat Karela, aside historically that they struggled against, but they beat them comfortably. I think these are the kind of results that goes on to winning the league. And I think so far, Karim Zito and his Kotoko side are looking like a side that could possibly go all the way to challenge for the title. Masood Didi Dramani's Heart of Oak are not doing too bad themselves. Like I said, they are also unbeaten. I think the biggest player in that team probably has to be the goalkeeper, the Blasters goalkeeper, Benjamin Asari. I think this game is a matchup between Benjamin Asari and Herbert of Asante Kotoko, and that for me is the biggest matchup in this game. We know Benjamin Asari gets 5 clean sheets consecutively for Hearts of Oak till he conceded recently to Gold Stars and Basake. So that the conversation has to be, can Benjamin Asari lead this Hearts of Oak side as the captain of the side? Can he lead this Hearts of Oak side to victory? Let's also remember that Hearts have tasted just the one victory in the Ghana Cup top 4 against Kotoko in a while. Every other Super Clash game in recent years have gone the way of Asante Kotoko. So Hearts really desperately need this win, if you ask me, because they've not enjoyed a lot of victories in recent Super Clashes. Because it's at home at Accra Sports Stadium. I mean, Kotoko themselves are playing their home games there now because the Baba Yara has not been a ground where they could play. So the home advantage thing is not really there. But it's still in Accra. It's still in the Ghana. I think a lot of Hearts fans will trip to the Accra Sports Stadium on Sunday, and that should go in favor of the Hearts of Oak team. But form-wise, I think Kotoko edges Accra Hearts of Oak just by that bit, and so. By that virtue, I'm gonna go a draw just because there's this Heartsman here and he would probably chew my head off.
So that's how we wrap up for the weekend sports rally today. There's no time for a shout out. Well, so if you don't hear our voices again, thank you very much, Phil Anand. Thank you very much, Emmanuel Donko, and also to everybody, Mr. Emmanuel Kante, Prince, everybody who have been behind making sure that we bring to you a live weekend sports rally this Saturday afternoon. Up next is Roots and Routes. This is where I say, trust God and have a great sporty day.